Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to more KRP. Okay, so I know you saw the title and I want to explain myself. So XDefiant's been out for a full day now and I want to give you guys my thoughts on the game. Plus a lot of other things I've been seeing on Twitter, YouTube, Twitch, etc. Let's get right into it. So after a full day of release, my thoughts are work in progress. But I think that the full launch of the game has been the best beta of all of them. You know how some people can be really critical. We're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to all of that. First off, I wanted to talk about something kind of funny. XDefiant is still blocked by COD. So I'm not 100% sure when this happened. I think it happened around the second or third beta. It's just funny to see this like billion-dollar company get butthurt over like a small startup, what feels like a small, I know XDefiant is backed up by Ubisoft, like another billion-dollar company, but Call of Duty has been around for so long, and to see them get butthurt over XDefiant is just hilarious. I mean, they didn't have to block them.
You take me to him, take me to the son of a bitch.
But I guess Call of Duty understands that there's a new kid on the block. Next up, I want to talk about some settings. So I've been seeing a lot of settings, pictures, and videos floating around Twitter and YouTube, and this guy says if you're struggling with sensitivity settings on XDefiant, give mine a try. So he's got his on 40/40, 70 for ADS high and low, reverse curve, and he's got his dead zones up here. Now I want to say that all settings are completely subjective. I know I uploaded my own settings video, but you got to remember all settings videos on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, anything you see are just suggestions by the creator. If you can't, find your own settings that work for you, to try theirs out, because these guys are really good at the game and they obviously want to get their settings out there. You using their settings and being good with them only makes them look good. But actually talking about that, somebody actually took a video of Scump's settings. He's actually a really big Call of Duty guy, and I want to show you guys Scump's settings because they're actually pretty good. I actually watched this a little bit, and these are Scump settings. If you guys want to copy them or anything, you guys can slow the video down and see. There's that. So these are all Scump settings if you guys want to copy them. Again, I saw a tweet from Mark Rubin, and he's right, and I'm going to show you guys a tweet. So Mark Rubin actually puts out a tweet. He says he watches Nero Cinema, and he says he has a great piece of advice to set your settings where you think they should be, and then don't change it. Stick with it for some time, and you'll get used to the way it feels. It says to set your settings and leave it like that. Another thing I thought was funny was I saw this picture on Twitter of the Twitch views XDefiant versus Call of Duty, and people are saying, oh, rip Call of Duty killer, Call of Duty finally killed COD, Call of Duty's gonna die. You guys gotta remember, this is only, at the time of recording, this is only the first 3 days of XDefiant's release. It has 100,000 views on Twitch. Now, XDefiant has not only beaten COD in Twitch views, but has beaten Fortnite in Twitch views. But I'm really curious to know you guys' rating of XDefiant 1 out of 10 after a full, well, now 3 days of release. I wanna know how you guys feel about the game, and remember, it's going to get better. Live service games these days release with the bare minimum content, and then they add them over the course of 2 to 3 months. So in the next 2 to 3 months, maybe even 5 months, even a year from now, XDefiant will have a billion times more content than it does now. All you got to do is wait, which is the bad part, because games like Elden Ring and GTA 6 coming out and Red Dead Redemption, those games are story mode focused games, and they come out with all the content, everything is working, and it just shows how, live service games don't really focus on quality over quantity. And it's kind of a shame, because think of all the live service games that have come out over the last 5 years, and games that even didn't need to be live service came out as live service only for the developers to make a quick buck. It's actually insane, because indie games and story mode games are proving that they have what it takes to take over the market, and yet you have all these big companies and developers fighting over what live service game is going to make the $1 billion. Now, enough about that. I want to get into some of the best loadouts in the game. These come directly from XDefiant Informer, and he says that these are the best guns right now. So this is the best. I know this is Twitter quality, so it's kind of ass, but this is the best AK. This is the best MP7 or MP7, MP5, MP7, MP5 right here. And this is the best M4. So if you guys want to pause, you guys can see the picture of the attachments if you guys can't really read it, but these are the best attachments for each gun, each of the best guns in the game, and at the end, I'll even show you mine. Now, I want to talk really quickly about something that I've been thinking about. So it says, petition to add kill cam to XDefiant Who's With Me. Now, I wanted to talk about this because it got me thinking about certain things that XDefiant could add to the game in the future, and then it got me also thinking about some things that XDefiant probably should have already added. So kill cams is definitely one of them. And even though it's a hero shooter, I would have loved to have a perk system in the game, You know, I would have loved to have a little bit more weapons in the game, just certain things that would have made the quality of life of XDefiant a little better. Like I said, with this new model of games coming out as a service and then drip feeding content over time, it's really sad that we're getting all these games that come out with the bare minimum, but then choose to add stuff over time. It's really just, you know, baiting you into playing the game more, even though it should have been in the game from the start. And I get it. That pushing out all these things may have, you know, had them delay XDefiant another couple of months, maybe a year, but is that the price we're willing to pay for more and even better content? So think about it this way, right? Cyberpunk was announced so long ago, and when it finally came out, it was an utter dud. People had high expectations, the developers gave us high expectations, and then they did not end up delivering. But here we go, 12 years later, GTA 6 has still not come out, and we are begging for the game. We're begging for Rockstar to drop it now, release it today, this, that, and the other. But think about the long-term cost. Suppose if Rockstar Games had not taken 12 years to develop GTA 6, we would have probably gotten a half-baked GTA 5 remake that filled Rockstar's pockets. They would have lost fans, lost money, and probably lost all of our respect. Which is the exact same thing that happened to CD Projekt Red when Cyberpunk came out. Even forcing PlayStation to give refunds on the actual game is how bad it was. So when it comes to posts like this of what should they add to the game, it comes to the question what should have already been in the game. And, you know, maybe how long and how good the updates are going to be. Now, next up, I want to touch on some of the creator thoughts about the game. Just, you know, some prominent content creators who have said their opinions. And one I want to point out is Murder Show. Now, if you guys don't know who Murder Show is, he's basically one of those creators who only makes videos shaming a video game. Whether he's talking about how bad Call of Duty is and how it fell off, or how the game is getting boring, or whether he's talking about how the game just generally isn't fun. There is a video I wanted to point out by Murder Show, and I'm not shaming him, so, you know, if anybody's watching this, I'm not shaming him, but this is the general consensus. So basically, this video is why I talk shit about Call of Duty, but still play it. So, a lot of people talk crap about Call of Duty, I'm sure. But year after year, Activision makes $1 billion off of every single one of them. This guy is about to explain why he still plays Call of Duty, and I'm about to tell you why I think his explanation is a load of crap.
Why do I complain about Call of Duty, but yet and still sit up here and keep playing Call of Duty? Let's get down to the bottom of that, because I'm getting tired of getting asked this stupid ass question. Yeah, to me it's a dumb question.
Now, I'm not gonna pause too much, but he says it's a dumb question, and I want you guys to really understand why he says that. He says it's a dumb question for the reasons he explains later. This is an 11-minute video. For the reasons he's gonna explain later, he's gonna explain why he thinks it's a dumb question. But when I'm done with the part of the video I want to show you, I'm gonna explain why I think he says that.
Why in the hell I'm playing Call of Duty? What in the hell else am I supposed to play? Is there any other game out here that is anywhere close to Call of Duty that will give me the type of dopamine rush and adrenaline rush that I'm looking for?
Now, the points that he uses are that no other game feels like Call of Duty, and no other game will give him the dopamine rush, and no other game is going to give him the satisfaction that Call of Duty does. And even though I 100% get that, you've got to understand something. It's for the same reason why I hate posts like this. It says, I told you guys XDefiant was never going to be COD killer. You guys have to understand that you guys are comparing a 20+ year, billion-dollar franchise to a game that literally just released. What Murder Show is basically saying here is that no other game is going to give him what Call of Duty gives him. And even though I agree with that, you gotta understand that you've had 20+ years to play Call of Duty and experience it and understand it and, you know the feeling that it gives you and know that you like it. Whereas XDefiant literally just released a few days ago. People are already saying that the game sucks and this and that, and they're really not giving XDefiant a chance. Now, I have played 3 Call of Duties, I have played 1 XDefiant, and I can tell you that they are completely different games. For one, XDefiant is a hero shooter. Hero shooters have a pre-selected list of characters and abilities that play a certain way during a match, and Call of Duty is literally a place where you go and can spend $30 on one skin and $100 on one weapon. Call of Duty literally has a $30 battle pass within a $70 game. XDefiant's battle pass is literally 700 X coins, which literally is just in-game currency, which amounts to like $9.99. You are buying a $10 battle pass in a free game. Compared to Call of Duty, where you're spending $69.99, upwards of that, and also buying a $30 battle pass. Now, I'm not saying everybody buys this because only content creators and people that care about that will buy it, tax write-off, this and that. but the fact that it's there in the game still proves my point. Call of Duty has had more room to grow, more room to find its own fan base, 20 years of games and updates and billions of dollars behind it, and XDefiant is this small little indie game, what feels like, backed by $1 billion company who couldn't give a rat's ass about promoting it. What I'm saying here is comparing XDefiant to Call of Duty and Call of Duty to XDefiant is literally the most unfair comparison. Now, at the core of XDefiant is still a 6v6 shooter, but the fact that you have heroes implemented in it makes it a different kind of game. And now I'm going to show you guys some of the personal loadouts that I use in XDefiant. So as you'll see here in loadouts, I only have two classes. I have an MP4 and I have an MP5, but it's really the AK-47. I got the stabilizing barrel here for the recoil control and vertical recoil control. I've got the vertical front rail here for the vertical recoil control, that's plus 10%. I've got the reflex for the optic here, this is just a general red dot. For the rear grip, I have the leather wrap for the 10% ADS walking speed. And then for the stock, I've got the precision for the plus 5 horizontal and vertical recoil control. Now for my AK is only level 6, so I don't have too many attachments for this, but I do have the reflex optic and the heavy grip here. I don't have too much of anything for this. I wish that, you know, unlocks for all ARs would carry over, but it is what it is. They don't, so they don't. Then for my deagle, I just got the light suppressor and then the heavy grip for that accuracy. You can always need accuracy. Also, what I'll do here is I'll include a bit of gameplay for each gun so you guys can see how I use these attachments and everything like that. So I know this is a different kind of video from what I usually upload, but I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time.